What's going on, everybody? Narcolepsy Boy 94 here, aka Malik, back here with another episode, Meet Us in the Ring podcast. Missed last week's episode, but I'm back today. We haven't heard from Axel yet, so I'm assuming he's probably asleep or something, but he might pop up throughout the stream. So we'll see. We'll go ahead and start. We're talking everything Elimination Chamber. I'll let my co-hosts introduce themselves. You guys can introduce yourselves, talk, plug in your socials and everything, and then we will dive into the conversation. Let's talk about.
Okay, well, what's going on, guys? Maddie here again at IZ Persephone on TikTok and Twitch, and Maddie Kennedy on Instagram. All my social media links are in the link tree in my TikTok bio.
All right, it's Mary, aka Mary the Heel, back again. I'm so excited to talk about Elimination Chamber. So let's get started.
So, what do you guys want to dive into first? You want to go to the big one, or you want to go to the small ones?
Well, let's just do order of
the card. Go match by match, yeah.
All right. Let's start with the women's chamber then. Did anybody else have anybody else in Asuka winning?
No.
I didn't see your last week episode. So did you guys pick Asuka?
I did first.
I picked Raquel because I was wishful thinking.
Okay. So Asuka for the dub. I think that was mostly expected from everybody. Chamber was cool though. They had some pretty cool spots in there. I liked the way it was structured and everything. I don't know about Carmella being the final two though, but I mean, it was. I guess it was.
Right.
Yeah, it was cool. I guess they. I mean, obviously, I think Asuka was the big favorite going into it. I really liked it though. I think the right person won. It sets up two big matches for the women now for both SmackDown and Raw for the women's title. So I liked how it was. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
I mean, Bianca stands. We got to prepare for the big L that is awaiting us. I'm a little disappointed about that.
I'm preparing too, bro. Roman's coming to an end at WrestleMania, I think. So.
Yeah, true. No, I think I didn't want Asuka to win personally, but I'm glad at the same time she did because I think she was the most deserving. Liv was eliminated a little too early for me, but I don't think she looked weak because she didn't tap and she was taken out by two people. Raquel should have been in the final too, I think. I was surprised at how abrupt her elimination was. Nikki Cross had some cool spots, enjoyed that. But yeah, I'm worried for my girl Bianca. But at the same time, I know a banger match is coming, so it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I have some thoughts. So after seeing the men's Elimination Chamber match, the women's just didn't do it for me. Like
that men's chamber match
didn't hit after seeing the men's, and I'm was thinking back, and I was like, it wasn't as good as it could have been, and it wasn't terrible, but I don't think it was great either. I know some people actually preferred it to the men, but I think Raquel didn't look as strong just because I think some of the things weren't hitting, and it looks like she's lost some weight. Like she looks more slender in my opinion. Maybe that's just me. Like it looks like her arms aren't as big anymore. So like she didn't look as powerful as she could have. And then Nikki being in the match, it did nothing for me.
She didn't even qualify. She was just in it. Like
she was in the final. She was in the final four, I think, for the Rumble. So
yeah, I mean. I wish it would have been somebody else. Like, give me Sonya Deville instead.
Yeah.
You know? And then Carmella and Liv, to me, were fantastic. I think Liv really carried that match. I think because she did, like, some of the big spots, and she did look strong.
Yeah.
And Carmella is just hilarious, and I love her. So, other than that, I think it was okay. I think it could have been better. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it until I saw the rest of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Liv was the MVP of selling for sure. She sells her ass off some of those moves. It was great. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that this women's chamber was better than last year. Then I wholeheartedly disagree.
Yeah, I disagree as well.
I don't even remember last year's.
Bianca, Rhea, Alexa, Nikki.
I'm sorry, the match. I don't remember
just the match. Oh, okay. Well, it was a good match, but regardless, not my favorite women's chamber.
I think this was a good one though. I like how they had some of the bigger spots. I think everybody pretty much looked good the way they were. Like, it took I think two people to eliminate Raquel. Liv didn't. She passed out and everything. So I like the way it was structured. I like the way. I mean, I think Asuka was just a clear cut favorite. I think they did that purposely though, not to put too many people in there, star power wise, maybe because they didn't want to ruin some people. So I like the way it's set up. It was cool. I don't know about being like one of the best women's chambers. I still think there's some other ones probably better, but I mean, it was cool though. It wasn't a bad match. It was cool. I thought it was very well structured and very well done. But overall, though, like I said, I think Asuka's the right person to win, especially with them reinventing her character. It seems like they're really going to start to. I don't know if they're going to push her. I doubt they're probably going to push her the way she was in NXT. I don't think you could ever go back to that. That's just a once in a lifetime type thing. But I definitely think she's going to be probably the breakout star of the year for the women. Honestly, this year, like I think she's going to get pushed hardly this year in the women's spot in the division. So I'm excited though. I'm excited for her and Bianca at WrestleMania. I like the idea of it. I like Rhea and Charlotte too. I like the matchups that they have for the women's titles.
Yeah,
so I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset how they structured it. The Brock and Bobby match was so confusing for me. I'm not sure.
No.
Well, go back. We knew that Bray cut the promo on SmackDown, said that he was probably going to face the winner at WrestleMania, is what we assumed, which made it interesting because I had picked Bobby to win before that promo, and I thought the Hurt Business was going to help him win. Then after that promo, I picked Brock. I was like, oh, they're going to do Brock and Bray at WrestleMania then. But I'm thinking maybe now they do a triple threat because I'm thinking maybe they want to do Brock versus Bray, but then they kind of leaves Bobby out of the loop, and I don't know who Bobby would face at WrestleMania if he's not involved in something because everybody else kind of has a story lined up. Like Seth has something with Logan, and then Roman's doing something with Cody. Sam probably going to do something with the Usos. AJ Styles is injured. Randy's injured. Theory's U.S. champion. More than likely, he's going to face Cena, is what's being rumored. You know what I mean? So, like, I think they're looking at it like, okay, there's not many options for Bobby there, so we kind of got to have him do something. You know what I mean? So, I think that kind of this is what I'm saying. I could be wrong, but just from what I saw, I think they're probably setting up some type of triple threat, which I'm not against it. I trust Triple H's booking, so I'm not against the idea of it. If they want to include Bobby into something, I get it. I'm not mad at it. I think I would have much rather see Brock and Bray 1-on-1, but if you don't have anything for Bobby there, then you kind of have to put him in something because I don't want to see him back in the U.S. title picture again. Past that. And like I said, all the top stars on Raw are kind of involved in something. Seth's already got something for WrestleMania. Cody's got something for WrestleMania. Randy and AJ are injured. So we really don't know the aspects of if they're going to be at WrestleMania or not. They could be, but we don't know for sure as of right now. Theories they looks like they got something for him. So when you're looking at the options, I kind of think maybe this is the best, I guess, option they're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care to see Brock and Bobby again. Honestly, that match just didn't do it for me, and I'm glad a lot of people were agreeing with that.
Yeah.
The ending was... I kind of figured it was going to end in, like, some kind of no contest, because I figured they were going to set up something for WrestleMania, but, like, yeah, the ending was stupid. I wasn't really here for it, to be honest.
I mean, Brock with a low blow, like, I think we could have come up with a better DQ than that.
Yeah. So...
I mean, that just... It was okay. To me, that match was okay. And it was... I don't know. I think a lot of times with, like, bigger guys, they mostly just hit their finishers the whole time. But to me, that's boring. But, like, I get it. But, yeah, I mean, that match didn't hit for me either. And then Brock's, like, temper tantrums are getting so old.
I know.
Hey, but they always work, though. They always work. I mean, he gets reactions. The crowd goes crazy every time he does it, just because he has the look to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the intensity of... He's one of those rare wrestlers, like, when he can turn it up, like, you just believe, like, the intensity behind it just because of how he looks. Like, I'm still not convinced he's a human, honestly, looking at him. Like, I'm still not that he's even a real man, because looking at him really, like, this is, like, how was a man even built that way? And, like, it's insane, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But yeah, if it isn't set up for the triple threat, I really don't know what the point of it was.
Yeah, I mean, the Bray Wyatt stuff is really throwing me off, so I have no idea what to expect.
What's crazy though is, I was talking to some people and I said, I think Bray's not really involved in nothing. I was like, I'm sure the LA Knight thing is done with. They're not going to do that for WrestleMania. No. And I was like, we all assumed Brock and Bobby was going to happen at WrestleMania and announced it for the Chamber. So I'm like, okay, this will be the last match they have. And I was talking to them, I was like, what if they do like Brock and Bray at WrestleMania? This is before everything even happened, because Bray's going to need a big match. Brock's going to need something to do too. And like I said, there's so many people that you already kind of see what people are going to do so far for WrestleMania. There's so many people who already got loops So I was like, that could be something interesting right there because Brock goes to both brands, you know what I mean? So that could be something interesting. It's crazy how they kind of plant the seeds for it. So I'm gonna just wait and see what happens. I'm not gonna judge it yet. I gotta see how it unfolds first. I gotta see what the direction is because just based off that, it was confusing, but
Yeah.
things could happen. I'm all for it, things happening if it all makes sense. Like if it makes sense for the story, then okay, then that's fine. But if something happens and then it doesn't make sense, then it's pointless. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm assuming, and Triple H doesn't seem like he's not one of those people who just like does something and then like leaves it in the past. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we're done with that. You know? So I'm assuming it's gonna set up a triple threat, which will be interesting to see. Honestly, I'm interested to see how they do that. So the next match, what was it? The Judgment Day versus was it the third match? Judgment Day versus Balor.
Yeah.
Third match. The match went exactly how I predicted. I said that Edge and Rhea were gonna, Beth were gonna win. I figured that Finn would take the pin, and more than likely, it's gonna set up a last match between the two at WrestleMania because they've been talking about this Hell in a Cell match happening between the two. So I'm assuming it's gonna be Demon Finn versus like Brood Edge, is what they're saying, which I'm cool with. Set up the last match, and then I don't know if you guys saw the press conference, but Edge accepted like Theory's U.S. Open challenge.
Yeah,
okay, that's he's probably gonna cost him the match or something like that and get involved. You know what I mean? So. In the mind of like Edge and Beth, it's probably they're like done with the Judgment Day, but like because Finn lost, he's like I'm not done yet. You know what I mean? So that's how I think they set it up. And I think it was cool that way. Rhea didn't get pinned, so it doesn't hurt her anyway. If Edge had lost again into them, it just feels like it's the same repetitive story of him chasing them over again, and he's gonna have to probably lose at WrestleMania to Finn to end the story. So like he just keeps losing, and he just never wins the feud. I mean, he never gets something out of the feud. So I was cool with the way it was structured too. The crowd for Dom though was crazy.
Yeah.
He got some real heel heat too, man. He's up there with the heel heat right now.
He's doing his job.
The crowd was crazy for Dom. I like the way it was structured. Though. I thought it was cool the way it was done. So I don't have an issue with it. I'm assuming that Finn more than likely is going to cost Edge the U.S. title on Raw, and then that'll lead to them finally ending it in the Hell in a Cell. If they do the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, and it'll all come to an end.
I didn't love Beth and Edge winning. I was kind of like really again, like why is Judgment Day losing to them like again? I didn't really see a need for them to lose. I feel like I'm just tired of seeing Finn take pins. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I felt like this would have been a good chance for Judgment Day to win, especially for Rhea. Maybe her pinning Beth would have been good because that would have left Edge and Finn out of it, and then she looked strong going up against Charlotte. I feel like that because I didn't see a DQ happening, especially with Brock and Bobby already doing that. But I was a little peeved. I was like, come on, like this whole Edge thing, constantly winning is getting a little old to me. So if they do Finn and Edge at WrestleMania, Finn has to win, like period. Because that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I loved this match. I don't know. I'm one of those people. I really like mixed tag matches. I don't know why. It's just it tickles me in a way. I just love it. But Beth looked so good. Like if she decided to come back full time, like she could hang with the roster and it wouldn't look out of place. Like she looked phenomenal. She kept up with Rhea. They did so many big spots where I was concerned, but they did so well, both Beth and Rhea. They were just love them. And yeah, the result was as I expected. I expected Edge and Beth to win because the Judgment Day beat him at Extreme Rules. So then they needed this so that we can set up WrestleMania.
It is true.
So I love that match.
It was great.
It was cool. I like how it was structured. The men's chamber match to me was match of the night. I mean, that match was insane. Yeah. I mean, there were so many great things that happened throughout that match. Yeah. I think everybody shined in the match in their own way. I liked how everybody looked. I love how they got out Bronson Reed. I thought he looked really strong in the beginning. He beat up everybody at some point in the match, and then I knew it was going to take at least half the people in the match to eliminate him. So that was cool for them. Montez Ford looked incredible in that match. I like Johnny Gargano's performance, Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, everybody. I thought did really well. That's probably one of the best men's chamber matches I think in a while. I mean, there have been some good ones throughout the couple years, but that's up there for me. Like that's one that I might have to rank in like my top 5. Honestly, that was a really good men's chamber match. I like how it was structured, how it was put together. Yeah, Theory winning though. I was torn between Theory and Gargano. I wasn't sure what they were gonna
Mhm.
do. I was like, I don't know if Theory or Gargano's gonna win. I figured one of the two. I kept going back and forth with one of the two, but Theory winning was somebody that doesn't shock me as well. Because I wasn't sure, like if they were gonna do Theory and Cena at WrestleMania, I was like, I don't know if they're gonna do it for the title, if it's
Yeah.
not for the title, because it doesn't really need a title. But if they want to do it for the championship, I guess they can. If that match does happen, just assuming. So I wasn't sure if he was going to retain or if he was going to drop it, because if he lost the U.S. title and then he elevates up to the Cena match, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like that's a big upgrade right there. So I wasn't sure what they were going to do with that aspect. But I love the men's chamber match. I thought it was really good. It was really good. It definitely outshined the women's. Unfortunately, the women's was good, but the men was just like the men was hitting in all places. I ain't gonna lie, they was hitting bangers.
That spot with Johnny off the top of the pod. Oh my
I
god, that
was
was so good.
stressed.
I'd never seen nothing like that. That was insane. I was like, that's insane right there. I've never seen anything like that.
Like at first, I thought Seth was just gonna like throw him off, but then they did the. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Why?
That's what I thought too. I thought like, oh, is he gonna throw him like a power bomb? And then I was like, oh my god, that was just like, it was so crazy the way it was structured. You know what I mean? Like I was like, that's literally.
And Montez Spider-Man off the top. That was crazy.
I figured he was gonna do something like that.
That
I was
was
like,
really
he's gonna have a big spot in the match. Even like Bronson Reed, like when he jumps on the top rope, it's kind of like I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's a big man. Like anytime he jumps on the top rope, I'm like, bro, like that's crazy. Like but he's pretty athletic for his size, though. Man, like, he's a pretty athletic guy. But I thought everybody shined really well in this match. I thought it was pretty good. It had the story aspects. Do you guys think Theory moves on to Cena now, or you guys think it's gonna be something different?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm anticipating for Mania is Theory versus Cena, and I'm here for it. Like I'm representing Axel today with A Town Down because I am hopping on the Theory train. Like to me, he has improved so much, and he has won me over with his selling alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think his sells are hilarious, and you know, wrestling can be silly sometimes, and that's okay. And I think people get caught up in like everything having to be serious. But like if you look back, The Rock did the most ridiculous sells with Stone Cold, and everybody loved it. And so I love when Theory does like this super extra selling. I think it's hilarious, and I think it adds an entertainment factor. And yeah, like you guys said, there was so many good spots in this match. One thing is my tiny little pet peeve. Both my brother and I share this pet peeve is when people don't like it seems like people don't talk to each other when they're planning their ring gear. And it's such like a minuscule thing, but it really annoyed me that both Montez and Damian Priest came out with crowns. For some reason, that just like bothered me. I was like, why? First of all, why did Montez come out with a crown? That doesn't really fit his gimmick at all.
But he used to do that though in NXT.
Did he?
Yeah, he used to wear the crown in NXT. The crown.
Well, then I guess that's a good callback.
He's a big Michael Jackson fan, so he used to come out with the glove
Mm.
and the crown on his head. So he didn't wear it on the main roster. They probably took it from him, I'm guessing. I think they took it away from him, but that was his stick at NXT. Damian Priest, I don't know why. Damian Priest never wore the crown.
I mean, both of them coming out in a crown like back to back. I was like, guys, did we not talk to each other?
Like Montez coming out with the crown was part of his stick, but Damian Priest never wore the crown at NXT. So I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, what did you guys think of Montez doing the Rock's moveset?
He did it well.
Was interesting.
I don't know. It was pretty cool. I mean, people will steal people's moves. It happens. I mean, Kevin Owens got the stunner now. Seth Rollins uses the pedigree. I mean, I hate it.
But Montez went full Rock.
Yeah. I mean, he went full Rock, but I don't think it's a problem with it. I mean, like paying homage, like people, it's hard to really come up with your own stuff nowadays anyway. So I mean, I was cool with it. I didn't have an issue with it. You know,
I just thought it was interesting.
I was interested to see if he was going to do like the people's elbow or like the people's moonsault or something like that. I don't know what he was going to do with that, but I mean, I have no problem with it. I didn't like people using so there were certain finishers I feel like never should be repetitive. Like lots of people do the super kick. Lots of people use the spear. I hated when Seth Rollins did the pedigree at first, though. Like I hated it so much.
Really?
I did not like, because that's a Triple H move. Like that's his move. Like when you think of the pedigree, you think of Triple H. When you think of super kick, you think of Shawn Michaels, but it's been done so much nowadays. It's just like it's repetitive. The spear could be anybody. It could be Goldberg, it could be Roman, it could be Edge. Like the spear could go to lots of people, but like there's certain moves that wrestlers have that made famous that it's just it fits them. Like when you think of the Stunner, you think of Stone Cold. Like that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have a problem with it now. It is what it is. But when I get they took away the curb stomp from Seth, but I just like when he's used the pedigree, like I hated it so much. Especially when he beat Triple H at WrestleMania with the pedigree. I'm like, come on, man. Like he beat Triple H with the pedigree though. Like I hated it when he did it at first. But I get why they do it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things. Obviously, it pays homage, but like I said, it's hard to come up with your own moves nowadays too. Though, so I don't have an issue with it.
And like someone said in the comment, he was even doing the second. Yeah, he was doing that a lot.
He's been doing that a lot lately. He's been doing that like a lot lately. This even he's been doing that a lot lately too. So I don't know if like that's something he's paying homage to, like or Triple H said you could use it or something like that. So
he's hilarious.
But yeah, overall, I think that Elimination Chamber match was great.
What do you guys rank it like as far as the men's?
Like just like 1 out of 10.
No, like all time. Like you put it in
your honestly, I don't know. I'd have to like go back and watch other Elimination Chamber matches because Elimination Chamber, like for some reason, they just never stick in my brain. So I would have to go back to compare it. But
1 to 10,
like an 8.5, 9.
I hope that Theory doesn't face Cena for the title. I feel like that wouldn't make sense. But
I mean,
Logan Paul costing Seth the match. Banana looking ass. I was kind of annoyed about that.
I was hoping no one would bring him up.
Oh, we gotta bring it up.
No, but I mean, Roman and Cena had a match for the titles, at SummerSlam. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially because John Cena was one of the greatest US champions of all time. So I think it still makes sense if it is for the title. And then, John Cena loses and Theory retains and it elevates him even more. And I think Theory's gonna go to the moon.
Yeah, he's got a bright future, I think, ahead of him for sure. The Logan Paul thing for sure surprised me because I was in a group chat and people were like, Malik, you ready for Logan to show up? And I was like, he not there. He ain't there. But I mean, I ain't got no problem with it. I mean, that was cool with me. I'm cool with it. I was surprised by the curse sound though. That definitely threw me off. I was like, oh shit, like they going all the way with it. So I'm excited, honestly, for the match, though. I mean, the match is going to be a banger. I'm not sure what direction they go in, though, as far as who wins, because to me, is going to be an interesting aspect as far as what WWE wants to do on that end. That's going to be up to them. But match-wise, I have all faith in the match is going to be fire. I mean, that might even be match of the night for both nights, if I'm being honest. Just the fact Seth Rollins is one of the best in the world, and he could pretty much put him on a good match with anybody at this stage. And then Logan's performances have been great, too. Like, does anybody else think that he's like the Buckshot better than Hangman Page?
Yes, point? I've said that on this podcast too before. Absolutely.
Like, I wouldn't know.
The only thing I wish he would do, he's gotta have his own finisher though. Like that's the only thing I just wish him. Like I don't. He might as well just use like the frog splash at this point. Like just do the frog splash, like something like he's got to have his own finisher. I think at this point because he's been using like he beat the Miz with the Skull Crunch finale.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really do. Obviously, he didn't beat Roman at Crown Jewel, but like he doesn't have a clear cut finisher where that's his big move. You know what I mean? Like that's his big finisher, and everybody needs that in wrestling. Like when they hit that move, like it's probably over. You know what I mean? That's just really the only thing he needs. I'm excited to see though where this goes though. I mean, they kind of already planted the seeds. He got eliminated at the Rumble, and then Seth was like talking shit about him, throughout social media and on. So it's kind of like okay, what I'm saying, I see where they're going. And they're kind of making this happen. The only advice I would say for Logan is that the only thing I'm concerned with is that he's got to be able to bring on the mic because Seth's gonna cook him on the mic. So he got to at least have some punchlines, and making him a heel now is so much better because I didn't like when they were trying to perceive him as a face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was so not it.
No,
just use him as a heel. He's already a natural heel. Like he already has the heat. Just all you gotta do is just push him that way. You know what I mean? So I hope
the boos at Mania. I hope they reverberate. I can't even say it. I hope the boos are so loud that I can't hear.
That's it's gonna be pretty loud. It's gonna be pretty loud. I think I've been to 2 of his matches, And I don't know how it'll be at WrestleMania LA. I mean, every crowd, I think every city is different with crowds. But the two matches that I had, it all started out with him booing, and then he got cheered at the end because of the performance. But this was at the time when people really didn't know what he could really do. Like people were kind of like surprised by what he was doing. So I think it's from that aspect. But at this point, because he's facing Seth and Seth's so over, I mean, like he's definitely gonna be the heel. I think he has to use that though to his advantage. Like there's I hate when they try to perceive heels, like people who are just natural heels, and try to push them as like good guys when they have literally a natural heel right there in front of you. You know what I mean? Like Roman Reigns at the level that he's at right now, it could have been this years ago for all we know. Like if they stop pushing him as a face and like stop looking at him as a face, he could have been this, years ago for all we know. So some people just have that natural heel ability where you're just like, yeah, there's like heel Randy. I mean, babyface Randy Orton was cool, but he's natural heel for me. Like Randy Orton needs to be a heel. Like he just has the heel factor. Same with Edge. Like the babyface Edge now I guess it's cool because he's older now and at the end of his career. But like prime Edge, natural heel. Like Edge is a bad guy. I mean, like some people just have that natural ability, and because of even before the WWE stuff, because of the hate that he has on social media and everything, like he's already a bad guy. All they have to do is just use that and just push him as a heel. I mean, he could be the heel reactions are there, so all they have to do is just utilize it. So,
okay, guys, hear me out. So the match happens at Mania, and then when it looks like Logan's about to win, Bad Bunny's music plays.
Nah.
Bad Bunny. See, Bad Bunny is maybe the one celebrity that people actually like, though. But I mean, I think, like I said, I'm interested to see what they do with it. Honestly, I don't know at this point what they do. I mean, it's going to have to go either way. I'm interested to see. I definitely feel like whether it's on night 1 or night 2 for me, that's probably going to be match of the night for me. I mean, I have all faith.
We'll see.
I'm okay with Logan using the buckshot as his signature move or finisher because it's just really well done. It's better than Hangman in my opinion.
I mean, that could be his finisher right there too, or that could be set up his signature. Like, I think they should go somewhere with that because I wouldn't mind him using that either. You know what I mean? Right. Like that would be good to him. He does it really well, so it's not like he's like he doesn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? So he just has to have something. Like he has to have a finisher where that's his finisher because right now we don't know what is his finisher. Yeah. We don't know what it is. So I'm interested to see the aspect they go though, and then the main event.
Cinematic.
And incredible. Like the crowd. Obviously, we knew the crowd was going to be. I mean,
that crowd was hot.
Yeah,
that was giving me like Money in the Bank type vibes. Seeing Cena and Punk. You know what I mean? Like the crowd was just so crazy.
I loved how Roman was reacting. It was great.
The storytelling aspect was just so good. Like I love how they didn't even touch each other for like the first 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like they kind of let the crowd just interact the way they were. You know what I mean? Like Roman literally stood there the whole time and let the crowd just kind of soak it in, and then. His storytelling is just at another level for me. Like him talking shit to his wife, and just like him talking shit in the match. Like it's such good shit. Like this might be the best story WWE's done in the last 10 years, maybe. I don't even know. I can't even think off my head. Like this story is just so good. I mean, obviously we expected Sammy to lose. Obviously, there was going to be a bunch of shenanigans, which y'all expect. Didn't know if the Usos were going to show up because, the whole situation. So I think that was kind of a toss-up in the air. Like, are they going to be there? Are they not going to be there? There's so many interesting factors that still play in it because there's still so many unanswered questions we don't know. Like, Jay still wouldn't take out Sammy, but, he didn't also take out Roman. And Sammy speared Jay by accident. So it's like now we kind of got that aspect. So it's like there's so many different aspects of the story that's just it's so crazy. I mean, like they're hitting all coffins with this story. Like they need to make like a movie trailer of this. When it's they need to put all the clips together and put it like in a movie cinema. You know what I mean? Like it's just so many good things about this. Like Roman coming out first, crowd obviously chanting, fuck you, Roman, and it's just like they're doing it during his entrance too. The crazy atmosphere, and then Sammy comes out and
worlds apart.
He gets a big standing ovation, and it's just the story is so good, man. It's just so good at this point. It's just it's a beautiful story to tell. Like when wrestling hits like this, it's must watch TV. So I mean,
KO coming out at the end was awesome.
Yeah, Kevin Owens coming out at the end was cool. No Solo, which kind of surprised me. He didn't show up, so I was like, okay, that's a little interesting factor. Maybe part of the story too. Why he wasn't there.
I didn't expect him to be.
Well, I was surprised that Jimmy was there.
Yeah,
because
me too.
Paul had told him to stay home and watch it on TV, but then he was there, so I was a little confused about that. But
Also, someone said something about Jimmy not being able to enter Canada, or I
because the
don't.
DUI stuff.
yeah, I mean,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But that was like
But-
2 years ago though. So
That was a
2 years
while
ago.
ago.
yeah, but he has multiple. But I
I
don't
think
know. They let him in. So
And then Paul Heyman even took a bump too. He took a stunner. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my gosh,
that
that
was
was
terrible.
hilarious.
he took a stunner. So it
I've
was
always loved you. Screw him.
Yeah,
it was a cool aspect. Like the
Paul
story.
was quick to turn.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah.
Anytime you're gonna get beat up, he's always quick. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to protect himself. You know. So
And I'm glad that people were also able to see like how great of a wrestler Sammy actually is. Because I feel like some people just didn't really maybe recognize that, but now hopefully people do because he is fantastic. Especially if you've seen his work in NXT. It's
the silence of the crowd though when he lost was crazy. Like
know.
it
Oh my
was
gosh.
like people knew it was coming, but it was just like, oh man,
Yeah.
I mean, like it was.
But honestly, like I think that this match for both of them was one of the biggest matches of their career. I mean, for sure for Sammy, this was like the biggest match of his main roster career. And even for Roman, like Sammy pushed Roman to his limits. Like, because I feel like the past couple of opponents for Roman is like, we had Brock where they're both kind of slow and they do like a few things. And then, with Cena, same thing. They're slow, do a few things. So having Sammy like really kick things up a notch, to me, that was fantastic. And I think it really showed that Roman, even though he's in God mode, he's still a man. He's still just
the near falls were insane.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Roman is like the king of like the 1-2 kick out at this
I
point.
know.
Like every time he gets pinned, I'm like, he's gonna kick out. But then there's always that second, I'm like, oh, okay, like
yeah.
2.999. Like
he's manifested that, so well. It's like, the 1-2 and he's like barely, get up. So it's gonna be so, and the story is it's just so good though, man. Like it's just so interesting to see what they do because this is still a big decision they got to make too at WrestleMania. The Cody stuff, you know what I mean? Like it's still so many factors to play into this. I really wish, I don't know how they could split the titles, but I just really wish to get the WWE title away from Roman at this point. Like,
yeah,
they gotta figure out how to split the titles. Even if Cody beats him at WrestleMania, how are we gonna split the titles? Cody's gonna give one up, the night after, and like, what are we gonna do? I mean, like, they gotta split the titles eventually. So,
yeah, I mean, it could be a thing where Cody's like, you know what? I only care about this title. Like, I don't want that title, so you guys can, do whatever with it.
Assuming he'll probably give up the Universal title because the WWE title is like the one that he's mainly been talking about in his promo. Yeah. So I would assume that's the one he keeps. I'm really interested to see what they do, though. Honestly, I mean, this is the biggest Roman match, biggest decision I think so far of the run. Like, okay, this is the big decision we're gonna make at WrestleMania because there's so many. Not even speaking this as a fan, but like just from a decision of WWE had to make. Okay, we have a chance to possibly get Roman to 1,000 days as champion, which no world champion has done that since the 80s. So, and realistically, they'll probably never push another guy like this ever again, if we're being honest. I mean, if it does happen, it may be another 30, 40 years from now. You know what I mean? So, like, they may never push another top guy at this level and come this close to records that people thought were going to be unbroken. So, do we want to continue this run? And do we want to continue to have him create more history, continue the run as champion, or do we want to pull the trigger on Cody and have Cody be the guy while he's still got a lot of momentum? He got a perfect story right there, and he's there. So I honestly don't know what they do. I think they have a really tough spot. Like that's why I wish it wasn't for both titles, because if you in a perfect world, Roman keeps the Universal title, Cody's WWE champion, I think that would be the best bet. But they've shown no signs of splitting the titles up. So I'm assuming it's going to be for both championships. So I honestly don't know. What they do. Honestly, like I would bet Cody is the favorite, but I'm still not sure. Like it's just because they're so close to that mark. So it's like once the history is over with, it's over. Like if Roman's gonna lose, then you can't rewrite that ever again. You know what I mean? So like this is the once in a lifetime chance that you have the opportunity to make something like this happen. So I honestly don't know what direction they go in unless before WrestleMania they find a way to split the titles that we don't know about yet. I'm not sure, but I'm not really sure what they do. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it has to be now or never, really, because if they don't pull the trigger at Mania, it's like if they try to do it at SummerSlam, it's not going to mean as much. No. If they try to do it next WrestleMania, it's not going to mean as much. So,
I think it depends on who's the guy, though. Like, what if it's not Cody? What if it's somebody else?
Could be. People were saying Jay, but I think like it's
I
it's
don't
time.
think so.
I
It's
just wouldn't.
time to end Roman's reign. No pun intended. It's time.
I mean, he wants to go do other things, which is which is valid, and so I think there's never gonna be a right time, and just with this reign, there's never gonna be a right time. No one will ever think, yeah, this was the right choice, because someone's always gonna be, well, no, he should have hit 1,000 days, or no, it should have been Cody. Like nobody's gonna be 100% happy regardless. And so they either just need to do it and be bold, pull the trigger, or there's just there's no other way. They would have to have Roman just be like, all right, I'm done. You guys can have these titles back. Like, so I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
I feel like there's always different ways they can do it. I mean, Roman can realistically lose at any time. It's just, will they ever have another chance with another guy like Cody? That's just the that's the biggest what if you have to take. Like, unless they get a big signing like a Kenny Omega or something, you know what I'm saying, down the line, that's different. But that's just, we don't know. You know what I mean? So they have a really big chance to create a big star in Cody, who's never been world champion. He has the family legacy, so they have a really big chance to validate that. But it's tough though, man. Honestly, if I was WWE, I don't know what I would do either, because with when there's history there that you can create, you have to think about, like, okay, we have a chance to do something that hasn't been done in a long time. Do we want to do it, or do we want to just end it and just have that history? Because sometimes history is meant to be broken. We all know that records are meant to be broken, and like, just for example, just a basketball record, like LeBron James just became the NBA all-time leading scorer, but that was a record that people never thought was going to be touched. Like, Kareem he held the record for 40 years. You know what I mean? So like that's a record people are like, oh, that's never going to be broken. You know what I mean? But then LeBron comes and he snatches it. So it's a really hard decision to make. It's kind of like the streak with Taker. Like, okay, every year you really got to think about, are we going to end it, or are we going to continue to go? Especially the years that Taker got older. Like, he's not going to be around much longer. Right. So do we want it to last forever, or do we end it? And it's a tough decision to make.
That's what I'm saying.
There's never a right decision, like you said.
Yeah, there's never a right time.
My only thing is, I don't have an issue with Roman continuing the run. Is number one, they just have to get the WWE title off him. That's the one thing I hope. I don't mind him being Universal Champion. That's fine for me. I don't mind him cracking 1,000 days. And my only other concern is that you're betting hard. Like, if Roman beats Cody, you're really betting hard that, number one, you're hoping that Cody kind of gets more sympathy that later down the line, kind of like a Daniel Bryan situation. Like, you're kind of hoping the fans get behind him even more later down the road, which I'm not saying couldn't happen, but you're betting really hard at that point. That will be the chance, and the fans.
That's a gamble,
and the fans won't turn on them. So that's just a gamble you have to take. So I don't have an issue with the run lasting. It's just, my only concern is that you have to get the WWE title away from him, and you may never have another shot at having somebody like Cody in this position where he's so over. He's got so much momentum. Cody's still undefeated too, and coming back to WWE, so he hasn't lost a match yet either. So he has a lot of momentum. He has the perfect story to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Fans want to see him win. I feel like at this point, I don't feel like fans have turned on him, so I feel like fans are okay with Cody being the guy. But just from that aspect, it's a really hard decision. This is going to be the toughest decision they've had so far during the run of Roman.
It's the only match where I'm betting against Roman. Every other match on my predictions, I've always chosen Roman. This is the only one that I will not be choosing him.
I still don't even know who I'm picking, honestly. I was like, the only time I betted against Roman was the first time at WrestleMania when he walked in the champion, because I thought Edge was winning for sure, because of how they built up this story. So I definitely didn't think Edge was losing. The only other time I was a little concerned was against Drew McIntyre at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
But I'd still pick Roman to win, though. I was like,
yeah, I did too.
But I was like, I'm still not sure if Roman's winning. But at this point, this is the most unpredictable of the match he's had during the run. It's the most unpredictable. And WWE has a big decision to make. Like, you either want to push Roman to create more legacy for his legacy, or you're ready to end the run and ready to push Cody. Either way, it's going to be a tough decision, because with the run that Roman has had, this is going to be the biggest thing. Him losing is going to be the biggest thing they've had in years. You know what I mean? Like, when he loses and his shoulders are pinned to the mat for the 3 count and he loses, like, it's going to be the biggest pop reaction, like, holy shit moment that WWE's had, maybe since the streak. Honestly, like, it's going to have that type of feeling, like, because of the run he's having. So I honestly just don't. I don't know what they do. I really
I
don't.
really do hope that he drops both titles to Cody, and whether or not Cody decides to separate them. But I think it's time to end the run. Let's get something new. And I think Cody, being at, like you said, at the momentum he is now, is that guy. So that's what I'm hoping they'll do. And if Cody wants to give up one title, that's fine. But just get them away from Roman. It's time. It's been time, in my opinion. I don't think he needs to hit 1,000 days. I think he's already solidified himself as one of the best. So I don't see that being really necessary.
I mean, how would we feel about the triple threat? I know some people want that. I don't want it with Roman, Cody,
With
and
Sammy
Seth.
being involved.
Yeah, I mean, some people want that, but I don't want
the
it.
one-on-one match is a bigger aspect.
Yeah.
And there's just one of two things. Number one, Sammy's taking the pin at WrestleMania, and he's either taking the pin from Cody or he's taking the pin from Roman. So, I mean,
and I want to see him and KO go off win the tag titles. That's another thing. So,
yeah. So I mean, I predicted that Roman was going to hold the Universal title all year, but if they're not going to split up the titles, and that's just not, I don't know if that's going to happen at this point anymore. But if they find a way to split up the titles, and I still think he's holding that title all year. But with both titles, it's just, I don't have an issue. I never had an issue with him holding the Universal title for a long period of time because that was just one championship. You know what I mean? But both of them is like, that's overkill. You know what I mean? Like, that's both of the titles. You know what I mean? Like, so they have to find a way to get the WWE title off him, and maybe the way is by Cody beating him, and then Cody gives up the Universal title, and he keeps the WWE Championship, which would be fine if that's how they want to do it. That's what they're gonna do. But in a perfect world for me, I would much rather prefer Cody be WWE Champion, Roman keeps the Universal title, because I feel like if they're gonna get to, I feel like there's still more story to tell with the Bloodline stuff, assuming that they're not gonna implode everything, because like there's still a lot of people that I want to see Roman face that never got the shot, like Bobby Lashley. Like the Randy match, assuming that Randy was going to come back, because that match was supposed to happen at SummerSlam last year. So I was really looking forward to that match. Like, I was excited to see that aspect. And I still feel like he could lose to somebody that he's already beaten. Like, if Roman kept the Universal title, I think he could still lose to like a Drew McIntyre, because like Drew McIntyre got screwed out of the match. You know what I mean? And I think, I think Drew is still owed the run that he never got in front of the fans. So like that would be big for Drew. So I feel like there's still people there that it would mean a lot. If they would, I still feel like just some story to tell there with Roman as Universal Champion. I just wish they never unified the titles, because unifying the titles last year, I didn't have an issue with it at first, because I understand they were trying to do something different, but I didn't know Roman was going to have them this long. So
it's time.
They kind of put themselves in a tough spot, because them unifying the titles made it hard for Theory to cash in. Then they had to do what they had to do with the Money in the Bank for him, and they haven't been able to find a way, I guess, to take the WWE title away from Roman. So it's tough. It's a tough aspect, you know, to say. I don't know what they do. Like it's either gonna go with Roman or you're gonna go with Cody. It's gonna be one of the two, and I don't know. I don't think either. For me, I don't think either is a bad decision, but you just kind of really have to make what decision you want to make at this point. Like, you want to chase the history, or you want to go with Cody? And I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know what they do. I really don't. And the plan could maybe always been for Cody to be the champion. I mean, I think that was always the plan. But I mean, this could always been the plan from the beginning, for all we know. So
I don't know. I feel like it would be a little more special if Cody had both titles. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
They got to split the titles. Even if Cody wins, they got to give up one of the titles, and then they got to.
I mean,
if they do it after Cody that wins at WrestleMania, that's fine. That would make more sense to me.
Yeah,
I could see him being like, I don't really care about this title, you know.
Yeah,
you guys have a you know.
There you go.
Fatal 4-way or something.
Yeah, and then maybe Drew McIntyre wins that title, and
because Drew could take
him or Sammy.
If they give the Universal title, like there's a lot of people there could, like Sammy could win on SmackDown, Drew could win on SmackDown. And there's a lot of people down there on SmackDown who could Gunther, you know what I'm saying? Sheamus. So there's a lot of people.
I'd love AJ Styles to be world champion again once he comes back. That would be nice.
AJ
just don't see it, Daddy.
Oh,
just don't see it.
I don't see it for AJ either. I don't see it for AJ anymore either.
I think he's past that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see AJ getting. I mean, I'm not saying he could never win out. I don't see it as right now, though. I mean, he hasn't
won right now. Sure,
he hasn't won the world title since 2018. So it's been a few years. So I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe there's different factors that play into this, though. I don't know. I really don't know what they do. Honestly, this is the most unpredictable Roman match. Like I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna
Yeah.
feel because Roman Reigns is my number one, or Cody my number two. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I don't know.
Oh, dilemma.
I don't know.
I'm
Well, in
sad
that
you're not going to
case-
be here for that moment, but
I want Cody to be the champion. I've always wanted him to be the world champion, even when he was
Right.
in AEW. I want him to be the world champion, but I
Yeah.
want Roman to get it to 1,000 days. I ain't gonna lie. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I'm gonna be sad either way. Somebody's gonna lose, so I'm gonna be
Yeah.
sad.
But
I'm
you'll
gonna
also be happy either way. So there's also that.
be sad and happy. I'm gonna be sad and happy. So,
Yeah.
I don't know how it plays a factor. I think honestly, realistically too, I was talking to somebody about this too. But it's like, if they kept Roman as Universal Champion, say for like another year or whatever, what if they had like Solo be the one to beat him? Like, because he's kind of like a wild card factor, and I think he's somebody too that it could be a world championship type guy material.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if he was the one to like turn on Roman, he has the most believability of anybody in the bloodline to beat Roman for me. More than
Yeah.
Jay, more than Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like he has the size, the look, the credibility, the intensity.
The
So
talent.
yeah, I think Solo would be an interesting factor. Like if he wanted, because he was like the last one in the bloodline. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
if he wanted to turn on Roman and do something there, that would be an interesting thing I think as well. So that could be a factor if they want to do something with that. But if you guys had to bet your gut, what do you guys say? You think you're gonna go with Roman or Cody at WrestleMania? If you had to
I'm
get,
going with Cody, but I'm still interested to see what they'll do with Jay and Roman. I think maybe Jay is like to Sammy, "Oh, you speared me." Like maybe they're gonna be something like that, and then that's when they'll
that's what I
have
see.
yeah,
that's what I see.
Usos versus because I want Usos versus Sammy and KO. But as far as WrestleMania, I have Cody winning because finish the story, Royal Rumble winner, it's deserved in my opinion. So
I also am going with Cody. Like I said, it's going to be the only time that I bet against Roman.
and it would be nice if a Royal Rumble winner for the men actually got the title because we haven't had that in like 3 years.
I think Drew was the last one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Drew was the last one. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm still not sure, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I really don't know what they do. It's just they may not even care about the record for 1,000. They may not care about it, but we don't know. That's the thing that we just don't know. Like, and I'm sure they're probably discussing. They've probably been discussing it for a long time already. Like, right, do we want to continue with Roman or want to go with Cody? And we got a big decision to make. And I don't think either one. Like I said, you can never make any wrestling fan happy. So they're gonna upset people either way. People are gonna be upset that Roman didn't get to 1,000, or people are gonna be upset Cody didn't win. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to make a decision, like a bold decision either way. Like, all right, we're gonna upset one fan base, so we gotta pick which one we want to do. So which one do we?
They upset all of Canada already, so.
Oh my God, they were so quiet.
Canada, they upset the UK. Like, they didn't upset a lot of people. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happens. I'm interested to see what factors play into it because there's still a lot more story told throughout the weeks of WrestleMania. We're still in February, so WrestleMania is not until April. So we don't even know what could happen. And there may be stories that build up to WrestleMania that were like, okay, Cody's winning, or okay, Roman might win. Like we don't even know yet. Like there's still seeds playing. But like if Jay goes back with Roman, then I'm like, oh shit, the bloodline there still. So like, Cody got to watch out for that. But if Jay leaves Roman, you're kind of like, oh, Roman by himself. You know what I mean? So now he makes it more vulnerable. So I don't know. It's so interesting. This is like the most unpredictable match I think WWE's had in a long time for me. Like you said, it's for all the matches you've been like, all right, Roman winning. Roman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But now I'm like, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Sammy did a phenomenal job of making us believe there was a glimmer of hope for him to win with those haluva kicks.
Oh yeah, I never bet it on Sammy. I was never. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't either, but
no, but I'm glad he stood tall at the end. That was cool.
Yeah,
you couldn't convince me Sammy was gonna win. There's no way I was betting on Sammy then.
No.
There's only been two people, Edge and Drew McIntyre, the only two people that I was like. Edge was the only time I ever betted against Roman, but this is during before the run even really took off like it did. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, okay, Roman dropping the title to Edge. Edge got the story there, but then Roman won. So that's when Roman won at WrestleMania 37. The way he did when he stacked them both up and pinned them. That's when I was like, oh, they really like Roman's there. Like he was like when he won the Universal title, I was like, okay, the run was cool, but like that WrestleMania solidified him as like he's the face of the company now. Like I'm like, oh no, he's that guy now. Like there's no question about it now. Like he's the guy. So that's one that solidified it for me. And then the Drew McIntyre one, just because it was in the UK, I'm like, ooh, like, and Drew McIntyre has more believability and same thing for me. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Drew could be that guy. You know what I mean? So I wasn't for sure how they were gonna play it out, but it's just so like it's so up in the air. I really don't know. This is gonna be one of the biggest WrestleMania main events they've had in so long. Like,
Yeah.
and it's so unpredictable. Like people, I think whether you pick Cody or Roman, it's so unpredictable. People don't know because during the match, you're not gonna know what the fuck going on in the match. So I mean,
Yeah.
you're not gonna know what's gonna happen. So the atmosphere is gonna be crazy though. I'm excited for this match overall. Like I don't know what they're gonna do, but whatever decision they make, I'm okay with either one. I have no problem with either decision. I'm fine with either guy winning.
Yeah.
Whether they want to bet on Roman continuously or bet on Cody, I don't have an issue with it. So I don't know what happens. What happens? What do you guys? What are some more matches you guys see happen for WrestleMania so far that we don't know about yet? What do you guys see happening?
Ronda and Shayna versus Damage Control for the WWE Women's Tag Titles. That's happening.
Yeah.
What does Becky and Bailey do at WrestleMania? They fight each other, or
maybe something with Lita and Trish being involved.
So like
oh wait, yeah, that would be a third time. Maybe like Becky and a Legend versus Bailey and a Legend. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea what what they're doing. Because if Damage Control is doing it against Ronda and Shayna, then they're not going to be. So maybe they won't do that. I don't know.
I don't know what they do.
I feel like they will.
Yeah.
I feel like that tag match will be at Mania because they need to get these titles going again. Like it seemed like they were gonna try, and then they just like didn't try again.
Yeah, no. Get
like, what are we doing? And at least Shayna and Ronda, like it would be really good for the tag titles.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What about Gunther? You guys think he's gonna face Sheamus and Drew in the triple threat?
Yes, and I pray he does because that is gonna be.
That's just like a lot of big men. You know, it's like you gotta have somebody in there. I mean, I guess Drew is very agile, but like you gotta have somebody in there that's the underdog. And
throw Ricochet in there.
Sheamus could be the underdog for real.
He's not an underdog. Come on now.
He could be the underdog. Like nobody gonna pick Sheamus to win that match. I know I'm not. So
no.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to.
You don't have to have every high flyer. Like this is more of like a physical like wrestling style match. Like it's gonna be a hard hitting,
like Clash of the Castle.
It's gonna be a very hard hitting type style match, which I'm all for. So, I mean,
I want to see Gunther versus Brock at some point. I want to see that so bad.
Yeah, I think that would be very good.
That's gonna be down the line.
I don't know if I want to see it, to be honest. Only because Brock matches are so unpredictable. I don't know if he's gonna really put in effort. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know with his matches. I mean, if he wants to go in there and put on a good match, like the match can't be short. It can't be just finishers. Like it has to be an actual match, which he can have, but you don't know when his matches are going to be that way. So that's my only concern. Like that's my only concern. I don't want it to be one side match. Like if it's going to be a match with Gunther, they need to have a match, like 30 minutes. Like Gunther beating the shit out of Brock beating the shit out of Gunther. Like it needs to be that type of match. Like I don't want to see the Bobby and Brock match for Gunther and Brock. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be something like that. So
definitely.
But
on paper it look good, but I know how Brock matches can be. It's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
But guys, hear me out. So during the Bianca and Asuka match, Alexa Bliss comes out in full, like Bray Wyatt, Funhouse get up,
like back
and cost. Yeah, ooh. I'd be here for that.
And cost Bianca or Asuka?
Bianca.
Okay, then no. No, my SD girl.
Okay, fine. Causing
if Asuka gonna beat Bianca, she gotta beat Bianca straight up. Like straight up beat Bianca. Like she don't need no help to beat Bianca, especially with this new character. It's gonna make her character look even stronger. So
I don't think she needs any help either. So
if Alexa shows up, maybe it's for like the triple threat or something. I don't know. Maybe she did something.
I don't know. I want Alexa to show up for something, but
I don't think she's gonna be at Mania, to be honest.
If not, I'm gonna cry.
Not that I don't want her to be. I just don't think she's going to be there. Maybe she'll do something with Bray Wyatt. I don't know.
I mean,
or do you think Dom and Ray is happening at Mania?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would bet that's gonna happen. I mean,
mommy ringside with her new SmackDown Women's Championship.
I would bet that's probably gonna happen. If it doesn't happen, I would kind of be a little like, oh okay. But I definitely think that one's gonna happen.
I'm gonna be so torn.
I'm going Team Dominic.
between Dom and Ray.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know that I love Rey Mysterio with my whole heart, but Dom also has my heart. So
I love him. Him turning heel has been so amazing for his
it's
career.
been so good for his career.
Yeah,
I mean,
He
his
just
heel
needs,
turn was the
he
best
needs to
thing
step up in the ring a little bit, do some more practice. But his promos are great. His character is great. He got booed out of the building in Canada. So
fuck you, Dom. Yeah, that was great. So good.
I'm not sure what they're gonna do with. I mean, Ray obviously he losing. He gonna put his son over. I know. That.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
That one's interesting. I think the two unpredictable matches for me are Logan and Seth and Roman and Cody. Like those are the two ones I'm like I don't see Charlotte being Rio. I don't see Bianca beating Asuka. I don't see the Usos. I think they're dropping the titles to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Gunther, I'd probably say will retain if I had to bet on that one. Austin Theory more than likely is going to beat Cena. If that match does happen.
If it's not for the title, then Cena's definitely beating Theory. But if it is for the title, then I mean, obviously,
yeah.
I think Theory winning no matter what. I think
John's coming to put people over. You know,
that's true.
I think he's done with his winning until he has his retirement match, probably.
I think I would probably bet on Theory for that if I had to bet. Finn, I would bet against Finn over Edge. You know what I mean? If that's going to be the factor. The triple threat, I guess Bray, I would pick Bray to win that one too. So just the Logan and Seth and then Dakota. Those are the two most unpredictable for me. I'm not really sure. Like
Seth has to be Logan. Like, come on.
I mean, it depends. It depends on what Logan's contract is.
Unless Jake Paul comes and ruins it.
It just depends on what they want to do with Logan, though. Like if they want to push him, then obviously yeah. But I mean,
but it depends on what his contract is. If it's like a 1 year thing, if it's a 5-year thing, like.
Oh yeah, we don't know that aspect, but true. I mean, it all just depends on what they want to do. Like I mean,
yeah. If his contract is going past Mania, then there is a possibility that he could win. Yeah. But if like WrestleMania is kind of like his last match of this contract, then Seth will probably win.
That's true too. I don't know. There's gonna be an interesting factors of how that plays out because I'm not sure how the elements are gonna go for either one of those. I mean, realistically, WWE I think it's smart, so like they know how fans react to everything, but obviously you can't give the fans what they want because obviously there's a lot of people who don't want Logan to win because they don't like Logan. Mm-hmm. But I mean, talent-wise, WWE knows how incredible he is. So if they want to push him and give him what type of push, then beating Seth would be big for his career. But it all just depends on what direction they want to go in. I mean,
and Seth could put him over. I mean, I would have said the same thing, like, oh, Seth would never put Riddle over, but he tapped out to him, so it's possible, and Seth, it could work. I don't know. I just hope Seth wins, please.
So overall, what would you guys give Elimination Chamber? Like 1 out of 10.
I give it about an 8.
8, yeah.
Yeah, I would say about an 8 too.
I don't think it was better than the Rumble, but I would give it about an 8.
No, definitely not better than the Rumble. But Rumble it was a great show.
It was very good.
Yeah, I would give it about an 8. It was about an 8 for me. Yeah. I mean, so far everything's been looking good so far this year. WrestleMania is obviously the next stop, so they got a lot of time to build up stories throughout March. Mm-hmm. A lot of things are going to play out, a lot of factors. So I'm interested to see what they do and how they build things up. I don't know what direction they're going to go in for a lot of things, but only time will tell. Only time will tell to see what happens. I think this is going to be one of the best menus they've had in a while.
Yeah.
Last year's is pretty good though. So last year's is pretty good. So I think this year could probably top last year. So
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to see what they do with it because there's so many. Just looking based off the card of what we know, I like the way it's set up. I mean, I like Logan and Seth. I like Cody and Roman. I like the Usos and Sami, Gunther versus Sheamus and Drew if they do that. Brock, Bray, and Bobby if they do that. I'm cool with that. Bianca and Asuka and Charlotte and Rhea and
what a card. I mean,
Dom and Ray if they go there. I mean, Austin Theory and Cena if that's what they do. I didn't fit in the Hell in a Cell. Like I like the way it's. I like the way it's structured. I mean,
it sounds amazing. Yeah.
Everything adds up to the story. Everybody has a story perspective. Everybody has rivals. Match quality is there. I mean, I like the way it's set up. So it's set to be a great WrestleMania. So, what you guys think of did you guys see the Joker thing with Seth and Becky?
Yeah, that was great.
That was really funny.
They've been doing they're bringing back the I don't know if you guys saw the old promo stuff they did for WrestleMania when they went to Hollywood.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
They're bringing
Seth is a really good Joker.
Yeah.
At least the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
They're bringing the WrestleMania commercials back. I know like the Bloodline are doing like Goodfellas and
yeah,
they're doing like 40-Year-Old Virgin They're doing
That one was funny.
That was
Top Gun,
great.
you know, like there's a lot of good ones they're gonna be. So I'm excited to see how they do those. But yeah, any final thoughts? You guys think any final thoughts? You guys want to touch on?
I mean, if I could have booked the women's Elimination Chamber match, I think I would have put Mia Yim in there instead of Nikki Cross, and you know maybe and or Sonya Deville in
Candice
someone's spot,
LeRae,
and I wouldn't have had Bronson Reed in the men's match. So
Dolph
those are my
Ziggler.
final thoughts.
Dolph Ziggler should have been in there.
I mean, it didn't even have to be Dolph. I just don't care about Bronson
just
Reed.
anybody
That's just me.
else.
No, Bronson Reed was great in that match though.
Well, but like I don't have that care for him.
I don't like
you know
him.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bronson Reed is dope. I don't think he hasn't done much, so there's nothing to care about. He hasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On TV, but I mean, Bronson Reed is really. I watch him in NXT, so he's really good. I think he played a great factor in that match. I think the way the men's match was structured was great. I only wish Angelo Dawkins was in there. That's the only thing for me. I wish Angelo Dawkins in the match. The way it was structured though was cool though. I think everybody played a factor and had an element to the match that was cool. So I'm interested to see what direction they go in though. There's a lot of different directions they could possibly go in. So I don't know what factor they play in. I personally would love to see Theory. If he's not going to face Cena, I would love to see him defend the U.S. title in a ladder match with multiple different people. I would throw the Street Profits in there. You throw Johnny Gargano in there, Bronson Reed, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz. You know, Tommaso.
I mean, they could go back to the IC title being a ladder match at Mania.
Yeah,
like WrestleMania 31.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think the U.S. title fits more though because they're not going to put Gunther in a ladder match.
Yeah, because the U.S. title you can do like smaller guys.
Yeah, like I said, you could put the Street Profits in there. You could put Johnny Gargano in there. The Miz could be thrown in there because he's not doing nothing. He's a legend. You throw him in there. Bronson Reed's a big guy. They always have big guys in ladder matches. You know what I mean? So, and he's a big guy who jumps off shit. You know what I mean? So, like, you can do some crazy type of bump there.
That he does.
They could throw Ziggler in there if they wanted somebody else to bump in the ring and do something. So they could be throwing
Chad Gable, justice for Chad.
Mustafa Ali.
Oh, true, Mustafa too.
Mustafa Ali would be great in that match too. I would love to see him in that match. I think he would kill it in that match. So there's a lot of different factors.
We'll just have to wait and see.
So. But make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you guys for coming. And next week we'll be back with another episode. And we'll see what happens. I mean, there's going to be so much that happens on Raw tomorrow. So it's a good time to be a fan because there's a lot of things going on through WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, I think, is always a good time to watch though because it's WrestleMania. So it's the best season of the year for WWE. So I'm interested to see what happens and what factors they play into it. So overall, though, I get the Chamber final thoughts. I get the Chamber about an 8. The pay-per-view overall, I get about an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
8. Alrighty, guys.